this week's Economic Update, we'll be looking at the ABS Labour Force Survey. This is one of the key indicators that focuses on the household and gives us indication of unemployment, employment, and all those other indicators of what is happening in terms of jobs creation. In the last 12 months, the unemployment rate in Australia has been hanging around that 5.8% mark. You would think that holding the unemployment rate down around those levels would be a good story. However, employment growth has only picked up around 91,000 in the last 12 months. That's 0.8% in a year. That is much slower than the growth in the working age population, which is just under 2% at the moment. So, how come the unemployment rate can hold down at these levels when you get such a slow growth in working age population? This has been generated by a decline in the participation rate. That is the share of people who are working or actively looking for work in the population. That has dropped over the last 12 months at a rate that is actually allowed to hold the unemployment rate down. So overall, we've seen the share of people working in the population decline as a share of the total population. So in fact, the overall jobs market is what you would call soft. We're not creating enough jobs for the growth in the population, and what we're seeing is those who can't find jobs, predominantly older men, leave the workforce and, we assume, retire. In addition, if you look at the nature of employment, you find that full-time employment has grown by 34,000 in the last 12 months. By comparison, part-time employment has grown by 125,000. That's a big shift in the economy. In the past 12 months, we had been seeing that this was caused by more jobs growing in retail, hospitality, but there's been a big shift more of late. We've seen more manufacturing jobs, more construction jobs. What we've been finding is that the full-time jobs are actually being shed in a lot of industries, such as government, education, and part-time jobs is where the growth is. So what we're finding now is we're seeing that we're getting slower rates of employment growth, we're getting higher rates of part-time employment growth, and also leading to further growth declines in participation, all highlighting while the labour market is okay, you would not describe it as robust. So what are we expecting for the labour force coming out on this Thursday? We're looking for a number of around 20,000 from rise in total employment. Our leading indicators, which focus on the business surveys and the household sector, are all pointing to employment growth around 2%. At the moment it's growing around 0.7%, much slower. There was an overshoot late last year, we're getting a correction through now, and now is about the time we should start seeing further lift in employment growth. Now 20,000, as long as we hold the participation rate steady, and there are some risks around that number, should be enough to generate a lower unemployment rate of around 5.7%. Now compared to us, the market is expecting a more modest 10,000 rise in employment, which will generate a slight rise in unemployment rate to 5.8%. Whichever way you shape it, what we're looking for is a number that will suggest the Australian economy is continuing to grow, and one that will keep the RBA reasonably confident about their assessment that the labour market is steady and okay. We'll be closely watching these numbers. The labour force survey has been quite volatile of late, so you can be a little bit uncertain about it. The spread on numbers from the survey goes from -18 to +20, so it gives you this big wide range. Post the numbers, we'll get back to you with some details and follow up and just what this survey will mean, and does it change our view on anything underlying the Australian economy.